Grazies! Welcome back. Today's video will be another K-pop sit down talk story time video. You guys seem to really enjoy these, so why not? Let me talk about some more. Today's video will be about some scam or shady company. Shadiness comes in all different shades. It's like a really broad topic, but today I'll be just talking about scam companies or companies that you should definitely watch out for. I thought, why don't I make a video where I can prevent some people from falling into a black hole? So today I'll be talking from my own experiences, my friends' experiences, not only companies but like promoters or event shows that I've personally been scammed once. Number one, companies should never ask you for money. Now this seems like common sense, but I guess like some people don't know. This is like the number one rule, number one thing that you should always watch out for. I've had a friend tell me that when she used to be in a company, it was like a no-name company, I think. She said that her CEO actually asked her to borrow money. He asked the trainees to borrow money, which is crazy to me. That same friend, she actually told me that the company actually didn't have enough money to fund their dormitory anymore. The girls started to pay out of their own pockets or parents' money, or they had to do some part-time jobs in order to afford housing. One day, she walked into a practice room, and then while they were practicing, cops came to the practice room and they were looking for her CEO. And apparently the CEO was there at the practice room in the company, and she actually saw her CEO get buckled and locked up, taken by the police and go to jail. Apparently he got caught for fraud, something like that, and they saw their CEO go to jail. Like, there's some crazy stories like this, so never ever let a company ask you for money. Number two, they should always recruit you for what you're auditioning for. There was this one time when I was in high school, I went to Korea for the summer because I wanted to find companies and obviously start my training, and I had zero connections, you guys. I didn't know anyone in Korea, anyone who was in the entertainment industry. So one person to one person to one person to one person, I found this person. He was actually famous in Korea and he had a company, but he didn't really have like a singing music company. So he tried to get me some auditions with other companies. So I know that he didn't have any ill intentions, but there was one day when he called me to his office. I did trust him then because like he had like whole office building with like 10 workers there, like working on something, I don't know. So when I went into this office, there was this one other older guy who he introduced me as some CEO of a music company. I sat down and, you know, me being like a naive teenager, I was like, oh my god, like this is like a CEO of a music company, this is so cool. Basically, I've never met him before, he never met me before. I've never auditioned in front of him before, he never saw a tape of me before. And on that spot, he was like, oh, like I'm gonna take you as a trainee, I like you as a person, I think you'll do great, I think you have some talent. And back then I was like, oh wow, like he doesn't even know me, but like he could see through me, and I thought that was like, you know, like a big deal. But like me looking back now, that is like a big no-no. He has never seen me ever before, never knew how I sing or dance, anything like that, and someone to say that they want to recruit you, that is a big red flag. So I almost went in to sign with this company that I had no idea about, that had no idea who I was, so I could have gotten into big trouble, but thank God nothing happened after that. Number three, don't judge a book by its cover, meaning don't judge by what they show you. I've been in so many situations where people say they have this, they have that, and they even show proof. Like they show me like this big building and they have this practice room and office building and it looks glamorous on the outside. Now let me tell you, this is where don't judge a book by its cover comes through. So there was this one time when I think it was after I left the first company that I was signed to, and I was looking for different companies or different girl groups that I could join. It was right before I became like a solo singer. So I remember I went to this audition. This company had this one idol group in it. This idol group, yes, was in music shows and variety shows. Should I reveal the group name? I'm like such like... So the group name was, it starts with the... So this group, like I said, was in variety shows. They were on TV. They weren't famous or they weren't like blowing up or anything, but obviously for me back then, when you see like a group on TV, at least it shows you the company has some kind of legitimacy, you know what I mean? So I auditioned and I did end up failing the audition, which this is where it's like, you know, everything happens for a reason in your life. I'm so glad I failed this audition, and I did so bad at the audition. So a year and a half, whatever, later, I saw on the news that that this boy group and the company actually sued each other. The boy group ended up leaving the company CEO ended up suing them, and then like there was this whole like lawsuit battle, and that just shows you there's lots of problems there. But like I said, when I was auditioning, you know, I saw like this big practice room. They had like awesome cool interiors, and they had lots of staff members and offices. I thought the CEO was nice. Like he seemed very, very nice. He seemed very like laid back, chill. But then, you know, you end up hearing some stories that does not match up to what you see. So don't judge a book by its cover. Number 5, always know if they have a legitimate address and a phone number. Duh. So this thing, I'm going to dive into my promotion scam that I went through. So after I debuted as a solo singer and I went to the show on Pretty Rap Star, there was this American promoter that said that they wanted me to do a show in America. I forgot where it was. I think it was LA. And they recruited me, some other girl group, and a boy group, I think, to do a show, like a K-pop night show. This promoter, let's call him, I don't know, let's call him W. So W only spoke English. So my previous solo company, and I noticed that there were some inconsistencies. When we saw the website, there was apparently this office address, which I bet that was all fake. There was really no phone number. We had to contact him through KakaoTalk. If you guys know KakaoTalk, it's a messaging program. So we're supposed to have a contract when you have these like promoter or events where they send you like a contract of, you know, what the show is gonna be like, how much they're gonna pay the artist. Contract where anything this promoter said seemed too good to be true. Some of the fans started looking into this company, and some of the fans brought to my attention that this company has done this previously, where they recruit K-pop people and they just blow it off at the end, where no show was going to ever happen. So one of the fans apparently called the location where the show was going to be, and that show location, they actually said that no show was ever booked or no show was gonna happen at a certain date, which we knew was really weird because you're supposed to pay for the revenue beforehand instead of putting it on the website first. So that was a little bit shady. And number 2, they started selling tickets online, and I guess people did buy tickets. People started buying tickets, but it was like before any contracts or anything was finalized. So a couple days before, he actually sent us a ticket, the Korean Air ticket, which we later found that it was shit that he made up. It wasn't even the real ticket at all. We thought it was like a little bit shady because there was no way that he could book a ticket because he had my name wrong on the ticket. My birthday and my name was like, it's spelled wrong. So we were like, okay, this ticket is not valid at all. That's why I called him. To my surprise, this W person picked up. So I was talking to this W guy. He seemed very like, I just woke up, like, why is this person calling me? Like, what is going on? Like, very, very shady voice. And I was testing him and I said, hey, do you mind if we fly business class? This was like to test him, you know, like he said, oh sure, you could just do whatever, first class, business class, whatever you want to ride. Send me the itinerary and I'll pay for it. And I was like, well, that was too easy. Obviously, like our intuitions, nothing ever came out of this. He never sent us a ticket. He never paid for anything. Revenue was never there. There was a lot of proof where people took like conversations, screenshots of previous events he wanted to do, and nothing ended up coming true. So this guy has some serious problems he needs to deal with on his own, where he's scamming people out there. After that, everything was canceled. I even announced it to fans that I was gonna go to America to do a show. That was a waste of time and waste of hope. Number 6, I don't know which number we're on right now, but if you guys ever do end up going or signing with a company, always have a temporary contract, which a lot of the big companies, they know to give you a temporary contract. So when I first went into my first company, they did give me a 3-month contract. These contracts will last from 1 to 3 months. After the contract period is over, the company could decide to sign you, or you can decide to if you want to sign with this company or not. So definitely a temporary contract is really good when you want to see each other and kind of test the waters out. But any company that give you like a couple years contract or legit contract right off the bat, you know that is a red flag. Number 7, always have a lawyer or a parent or someone that you trust to look over any contracts or talk with the people that you might sign with them. This is one of the mistakes that I've made, where the consequences still, it is with me till this day. Ladies and gentlemen, please Always have contracts reviewed by a lawyer, a parent. Let a parent or someone that you trust talk to someone in the company instead of you talking to them directly. Number 8, always know that you have the rights. Don't be ashamed to ask any questions. Again, another big mistake that I've made. I trusted people too fast, too naively. I don't know if that's a word, but naively. I was so naive and such like I could just trust anyone in this world kind of thing when I was younger, and I ended up just diving into just the dark waters. So always know your rights and know that it's okay to ask any questions, and people will try to intimidate you. Like people will try to make stories up or blow things up out of proportion. So definitely always ask for proof. Again, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. When I was auditioning, I had so many people just tell me so many things, show me big buildings and show me that they had lots of money or lots of blah blah blah, and later I found out that like their companies never end up doing anything, or find out there's legal trouble, or find out that everything was a lie. Let me end up with one last story time. This is a fun story time actually. I remember that when I was about 19 years old, 18 or 19, I was still in New York, you know, going to school, and my parents' friend's friend, there was someone who was going to work for SM Entertainment New York concert. Basically then SM Town had this big concert in Madison Square Garden. Back then, because like I always wanted to be a singer, I thought that this was the only time that I'll ever get close to SM Entertainment. Let's call this person L. This L person was recruiting people to be a staff member for SM Town concert. So I went there, this person bought us some chicken, and she seemed really like chill and she was good at talking. So she told me that we were going to be translators for the SM Town artists. We were like, score! So we were gonna be number 1 translator for the artist. Number 2, we were going to be paid $100 each day. We thought we were gonna like translate for people or help whatever in need, but we ended up being like the bellboy. Like we ended up being the people that like carry other people's staff members' luggage around. Anyway, after the whole concert ended, I worked for 3 days. And my friend as well. So about 2 weeks go by, we don't hear anything. A month goes by, we don't hear anything. So we contact them and say, hey, we didn't get paid yet. And now I'm sure you guys know, as an 18, 19-year-old like student, $100 seems like a lot. They called us and they said, hey, we're gonna pay you to come to our office. Seemed like a nice building. I went in and they gave us $200. So that's $100 each. I told my mom and I was like, yo, this person is not paying us what we were supposed to be paid. So my mom told my mom's friend who introduced us to Elle, and my mom's friend said that Elle said that she's not paying us because I complained and said that if I don't translate for 동방신기, that I am not going to work. And I was like, where the hell did that come from? What? So later, I think about a couple months or a year later, I see on the news Elle's face on the news, like Fox 5 News, because this company that she owns apparently scammed people of thousands of dollars, promising them training for K-pop. Basically, it was like an academy where you pay money so you could like get some training on dance, singing by some professionals. And it never ended up happening, so people were trying to find her to sue her to get their money back. I hope that this video was a little bit helpful. Again, disclaimer, do not take every video too seriously, you guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys have any other questions or video suggestion, leave it down below. And remember, I'll be in Denver and Dallas very soon, so if you guys are around that area or know any friends, come and see me. Alright guys, bye!